Well, here we are, another year, another top 10. We're close approaching auto assembly, and I always do this around about this time. So, it's going to be a top 10. Not going to be a top 10 in character. As I always say, it's a top 10 that always focuses primarily on the toys. And I've done a top 10 best and a top 10 worst. So, where do you think I'd go for the next one? We're going to have to go for the top 10 triple changes. I love triple changes. They're a great idea, but sometimes badly executed. So, you know what? Let's see if there's any good ones out there, shall we? It will be purely focusing on the G1 triple changes. I know there's been Beast Wars and other variations of a triple changing Transformer, but you know what? We're focusing on the G1. So let's get going, shall we? Top 10 triple changes. Well, yes, you knew he was going to be in here somewhere, didn't you? You probably thought he was going to be number one, but I've got one I think's a little bit better than him. But let's get on to Brave Max. Let's take a look at the head. Alright, now, if this was Fort Max, this would be Cerebros and Spike. I'm not quite sure with Brave Max, but it's exactly the same toy, just with a garish colour scheme. Anyway, I'm going to use him as G1. So you transform here, Cerebros, there we go. He's rather an odd-looking little headmaster. His head's out of proportion. That does look funny, he's got somebody's head behind him. You know, I suppose he's looking out for him. Good joke there. Yeah, it's standard headmaster head. Nothing you guys haven't seen before. Not really anything to write home about. Other than he can run like, I don't know what, actually. Never mind. On to the toy. Okay, so let's put the head back. There we go, as it should be. And now we have Brave Max complete. Just to give you an idea of comparison, let's put Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime next to him. And you know, he's a big toy, isn't he? Not next to Brave Max, he isn't. He looks like a little midget. Anyway, there's only one toy that can even come close to Brave Max's height. And guess what it is? Alright, I'll go and show you then. Supreme Cheetor. Get on the other side, Cheetor. Come on, mate. On there. Stand. Thank you very much. There we go. Just to give you some idea of scale. That's how big Supreme Cheetor is, but that's how big Brave Max is. Now, let's just point out a few little idiosyncrasies of him. How poseable is he? Well, he's G1, remember, so he isn't very poseable. But just point out how many weapons he has hidden at his disposal. There's one little weapon there on, I think that's the wrist, and there's one here on the hand that just flops around. There's another little weapon there. I don't know if you can see that. The camera should be picking it up. It's very hard to film him because he takes up all the lens on the close-up filming, so this is quite tricky. Anyway, so those are his hidden weapons, and he has more at the side there. See, there we go. Isn't that so weird? He has weapons that come out of their feet here as well. They're easily lost. All of these accessories you'll never usually find because they're all missing for some reason. Anyway. Alright, enough filming the feet. Let's get to the rest of him. Now, you know, most headmasters have the specs that come up. For some reason, he doesn't. He just has a hole there. I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe it's a black hole. Camera, just stay centre, will you? Bloody camera this is. It keeps moving around. And by the way, that cable you just noticed just vanished off the side of the bed. I did notice that. But here, he is one great toy. Now, let's transform him, shall we? Let's transform him into his worst mode, which is essentially him laying on his back with his arms and legs spread. Okay, that sounded wrong. I forget I said that. Let's get to what his battle station platform thingy mode is. Now, Brave Max doesn't come with these guns. These are extras. They come with Fort Max and Grand Max, but not Brave Max. I had to get these separately. Anyway, there's a nice little tower there for you to sit Spike in. Get in there, Spike. If you were Spike, you should be Spike. You are Spike. You'll stay there. Thank you. And, well, this is essentially it. It's not great. It's meant to be able to fly. It does in the Headmaster of the Japanese show anyway. Well, he does as Fort Max. I think he does as Brave Max as well. I really can't remember. He's really big and he doesn't look that great. Okay, now we should get to the best aspect of him. Base mode. And the base mode is quite simply one of the best bases around. Wasn't that a quick transformation? It's like magic. Alright, now I'm going to point out a few of the little extras that we got on him. There's no electrics on it or battery operated gizmos, which would have been nice, but never mind. I think Cerebros is meant to sit here. Well, actually, I know he's meant to sit here. I think that's how he sits. I'm not sure. I can't remember. That looks wrong, but I just really can't remember. That's one of the bits you have to press on. Anyway, I want to show you some of the little gadgets on it. There's a little spring in here. When you press this, it shoots a little car out, one of the rid cars out. Here at the side here is a little lift. So the car rolls up here. There's a little handle at the back which you wind and it makes it go up and down. And it goes to the top. And then you press that clip and the car pops forwards. Bob's your uncle. And here's the little handle, but I won't tell you where it's located. And also there's a little prison at the side of one of his legs, meant to hold Decepticons. I think they break out of a bit of plastic though. So there you have it, one of the best base modes ever, but not the best. You know the best way to display him is with the world's smallest. See? Now they're in scale, and they look great on him. Everybody, get Brave Max, get Fort Max, get Grand Max, and get yourselves the world's smallest and display them together. They look brilliant. So where does that leave us? Brave Max is one great triple changer, headmaster, base mode. He's sweet. He's really great. Everybody should have one. But I've got to say, he's not the best. There is one better.
Eyes closed, you can't find it. They keep deceiving us. We keep believing it. But the way I'm seeing it is how I'm feeling.